was 2:13 in the night. At the edge of the village stood an old mansion, and behind it there was a huge banyan tree. And that night something happened under that tree that no one could have ever imagined. The air was completely still. No dogs were barking. No night insects were making any sound. It felt as if the entire village was holding its breath, waiting for something. And then a thin child scream tore through the darkness. "Ma!" The scream was so loud and terrifying that people from 3 nearby houses woke up at the same time. But when they came outside, the street was completely empty. No child, no person, no sound, only the wind, slowly moving the leaves of the banyan tree. And beneath that tree, small footprints were visible in the soil, as if a child had been dragged away from there. And from that day, a name began to be spoken again in the village. The witch. 6 months earlier. My name is Arjun, and this story is about my little brother Rohan. Rohan was only 8 years old, mischievous, innocent, and the favorite child of the whole village. His laughter brought life into our house. My mother always used to say, "This child is a blessing from God." But some villagers would suddenly become quiet whenever they saw him, as if something old came back to their minds. An old story, a curse, and a woman whom the villagers called the witch. Outside our village there was a forest, and deep inside the forest stood a broken old mansion. People said a woman named Kamla once lived there. Some villagers believed Kamla was a tantric, a practitioner of dark magic. Then one day, a child from the village died mysteriously, and the villagers blamed Kamla. They believed she had used black magic. That night the villagers gathered in anger and set the mansion on fire. Kamla was burned alive inside it. But while she was burning, she screamed one last sentence. "One day, all your children will be mine." After that night, children in the village began to disappear from time to time. And every time people saw the same thing. Small footprints under the banyan tree. The first strange thing happened when Rohan suddenly woke up one night. I slept in the same room with him. That night I saw something strange. Rohan was sitting upright on the bed, talking to someone. But there was no one in the room. Still, he was whispering softly, "I know. You're outside." A chill ran down my spine. I asked, "Rohan, who are you talking to?" He slowly turned towards me. His eyes were half closed, as if he was asleep, but also awake. He said only one line, "Brother, the lady from the tree is calling me." My heart stopped for a moment. "Which lady?" Rohan slowly pointed towards the window. and quietly said, "The one whose hair touches the ground." I immediately ran to the window. Outside it was completely dark. But for 1 second, I felt like I saw a tall shadow standing near the tree. Then it disappeared. The next morning, I found an old diary inside Rohan's school bag. It wasn't his. The pages were yellow and worn, as if the diary was many years old. I opened the first page. It said, "When the child turns 8, he will be able to hear me." My hands began to tremble. The next page said, "His soul will be the purest." And the third page said, "That night, I will take him." At the bottom of the page, one name was written, Kamla. That night, the wind was blowing very strongly. Rohan and I were sleeping in the room. Suddenly the window slowly opened. There was no wind inside. Yet the curtain started moving, and a long shadow appeared on the floor. A shadow that was crawling inside the room. I quickly looked around. Rohan was not on the bed. My heart began pounding. "Rohan." No answer. I ran outside, and then I saw something horrifying. Rohan was sleepwalking towards the banyan tree, as if someone was controlling him. I ran after him. "Rohan, stop." But he didn't stop. When I reached the tree, the air suddenly became freezing cold, and near my ear I heard a woman whisper, "You are too late." I turned around in fear. No one was there. Then I looked up at the tree, and my breath froze. On the highest branch of the tree, a woman was hanging upside down. Her long black hair was reaching the ground, and her eyes were staring directly at me. I was about to scream when suddenly, Rohan lifted into the air, as if someone had grabbed him by the neck. His eyes were wide open, and he kept repeating only one sentence, "Brother, she is taking me." I ran forward to grab him, but a sharp icy wind pushed me backward. And in that moment, the woman climbed down from the tree. Her face was burned, as if someone had burned her alive. She took Rohan into her arms and smiled slowly. "You people burned me. Now your child belongs to me." Then everything went dark. When I woke up, I was lying under the tree. Villagers were standing around me. My mother was crying, and Rohan was gone. Only small footprints remained in the soil, leading straight towards the forest. I slowly stood up, and then the oldest man in the village said, "This is the night. The night when the witch comes to take a child." I stared angrily towards the forest. I would bring Rohan back, no matter what it takes. But when I entered the forest, I saw something impossible. Between the trees stood an old mansion, a mansion that did not exist there 6 months ago. And standing at its door was Rohan. His eyes had turned completely white, and when he looked at me, he said only one sentence, "Brother, I can't come back anymore."